Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be doing a video about AMC. Before I start the video, guys, please make sure to leave a like on the video below. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Join the family, guys. Let's go on our investor journey together. Today we're going to be doing a video about AMC stock. Should you buy AMC stock $12.15? What is AMC's move for next week? Is AMC stock going to squeeze? Well, I hope to answer all those questions for you guys by the end of the video. So if you've taken a look at what's been happening with AMC over the last couple of weeks, we've definitely seen a lot of bigger price movement, right? A lot of, hashtags and retail traders, Reddit traders have definitely been pushing up AMC stock, and people are getting a lot more bullish. Looking at the 1 week chart, it is down actually 10.92%. So, the last trading session, it started off kind of strong and then kind of just slowly went down, as you guys can see here. And then we see this giant pull down, a little spike up, and then a little bit of pull down. But on the 1 month chart, still up 31.35%. So if we take a look at it, this thing was trading around $9 a share. So it's doing pretty well for itself. Got as high as $14. And then from here, it's very important to evaluate, where AMC is going to go from here. Is it going to squeeze? Is it going to be able to go through a short squeeze? And when is it going to happen? And that's the biggest thing when it comes to short squeezes. Like, yes, they're very rewarding if people actually just diamond hand their way through. But nonetheless, you cannot time a short squeeze. That's the thing. You just wake up, and then all of a sudden the stock is going through a squeeze. Now, here's what we do know. We do know that there is a lot of people shorting AMC stock. We know that there's a lot of, short float on the stock. We know that people are growing and adding to their short positions as well. So, nonetheless, it also does make it a little bit more limelight when people do say, okay, AMC is going to go through a short squeeze. And the fact that it has a lot more media attention now really does show that, okay, people are really trying to force the squeeze out of AMC. And then, a lot of the hedge funds, they know this. They know that people are trying to force out the squeeze. So what they do is they just continue to add on to their short positions. It's really easy to see here that, the way that AMC has actually kind of been headed over the last couple of weeks, that eventually probably is going to squeeze. For me, I do think we are going to see a squeeze sooner than later from AMC stock. I do think it is boiling. I do think that we are definitely going to see this. Now, we also do know with recovery and good earnings and stuff like that, good news, good events, this can also push the stock upward as well. I think that's kind of what we need. We want to see the stock slowly starting to push upward, and if, let's say AMC posts good earnings on their next roll, then that kind of stuff is good enough news to be able to push the stock through, but still coming a long way, from the 3 month chart and the 1 year chart. We see this squeeze, the same thing that happened on January 27th, 2021. We have not been able to replicate that just yet, but a lot of apes are holding, they really do want to see the squeeze all the way through. And I actually think this squeeze is going to be a big one. I think it could potentially be bigger than GameStop's. People do have some crazy price predictions out there. That AMC could go to $1,000, it could go to $2,000, $10,000, $100,000. It's very tough to say the least. It's very tough to see where AMC can actually go from here. But for me, I do think it's going to be well over $1,000. And that's also going to be dependent if the brokerages do the same things they did last time. Are they going to limit the trading if AMC starts to squeeze? Are they only going to allow people to sell their position? Because back to the 1 year chart, we definitely see here that that's exactly what happened on January 27th. They limited trading and they only allowed people to sell their positions. So what do I think that AMC is going to be trading next week? Well, I do actually think we're going to see some green days, and I do think we're going to see AMC in the $15 to $16 range. I've said this time and time again, to get the squeeze out of AMC stock, I do think that we do need to see that $17 range. I do think we need to get as high as $17, $18, and then people are going to start panicking, and then that's when the hedge funds are going to start covering their short positions. It's not something that can be forced intrusively, but nonetheless, because people start seeing the price movement and then they start going up, and then everyone starts buying in, which is going to drive the price up. Now, here's the thing I love about AMC. Overall, it's very explosive. The stock is very explosive. It can go, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% in a single day. Not a lot of stocks can do this. So the fact that AMC has that explosive factor to it is only going to, show that you guys can't really predict when the squeeze is going to happen, And yet, like I said, there's a lot of crazy price predictions out there for AMC stock. For me, I do think it's going to be well over $1,000, but it's very tough to say kind of how the price prediction or how the price action is going to be when the stock actually does squeeze. But for me, I do think that AMC stock is going to squeeze. I do think that we're going to see it soon as well. I do think that we're going to see that explosive factor. Now, there's a lot of people who argue, oh, AMC this, it's never going to squeeze, stuff like that. Here's the thing. We own the flow. That's the biggest thing, and that's something that a lot of people don't really take in consideration when evaluating their stock position, or the kind of the short squeeze factor of it. And here's the thing as well, these are millions of shares that have to be covered at a single time. So people, when they put out the price predictions, I can understand why the price predictions are so high, because people throw out 1,000. You're not covering 1,000 shares. You're not covering 2,000 shares. You're covering millions and millions of shares. And it's the same thing that happened with GameStop stock a couple months back. How GameStop, that was a $4 stock, was able to rally all the way up to like $500. And it's on a normal basis. I don't think GameStop is worth $500 a share, and it probably would have went higher. But nonetheless, because the stock was being shorted so much, people still have to pay back those shares. That's kind of the whole shorting strategy. So it's not like, even though they're up on the position at first, you still have to pay back the shares at a specific point. And now that we know that AMC, people are still shorting it more, people are adding to the short positions, there's millions of shares that are being shorted as we speak. People are trying to squeeze out their reaction, and it's definitely going to be a big reaction. And like I said, you can never really discount when it's going to happen, because AMC, like I said, does have that explosive factorness to it, And like I said, it's all about being patient. Like I said, there's a lot of Reddit people driving this up, a lot of hashtags. Like, people really do want this squeeze to happen. I obviously want the squeeze to happen as well, but really cannot really put a time on when it's going to happen. But what we do know is, the stock is being shorted a lot. People are trying to run up the stock, like a lot of Reddit traders. There's a lot of diamond hands and apes out there who are really trying to push it up as well. And we do know that eventually the shares do have to be bought back. It's either going to be at a lower price or at a higher price. But for me, in my specific opinion, I don't think it's a very good idea to be on the short side of things, especially in our market. It's very volatile. Obviously, I'm not a financial expert, and this isn't financial advice, but nonetheless, I think shorting right now is just very risky, and I think a lot of traders saw that when GameStop actually went through from basically what it did a couple of months back. That being on the short side of things right now is probably not a smart idea. It's way too risky. There's too much leverage, and if you're doing millions and millions of shares, then it's tough to say the least how much that could actually end up making you lose in the long run. And even analysts have said this as well, that being in short positions right now is still not a smart idea, because like I said, we see the explosiveness like GameStop, AMC, Microvision, all these stocks that are being shorted, and people are making it a mission to drive them up. So with that being said, you guys really have to take the limelight and really see that I do think that AMC, I think the squeeze is boiling. I do think that we are definitely going to see it, but it's only a matter of time when we do. With that being said, guys, that's all I really have to say about the video. Let me know down in the comment section below, guys, what you think of AMC stock. Do you guys think AMC stock is going to go through a short squeeze? If you guys own AMC stock, how many shares do you guys own, and what's your average? I'm always very curious to know. With that being said, guys, thank you. Have a great day.